All right, so we just saw what it took to put together a script that was already written and how I organized it. And now I'm going to take off all of these notes that I put on in our last session, now that you understand why things are there. And I'm going to talk about how I storyboard these for my videos. And I'll be honest, sometimes I'll completely freestyle it depending on what the video is. Lately, I've been wanting to know when I'm talking to camera versus when I'm not, because I know that my B-roll might be lots of different things and I don't need to get too rigid. For me personally, I don't like too much rigidity in my creative process, where some of you might love that. And if you love it, you'll just go one step further. If you don't, you'll go one step less. This whole process is about finding what works for you and owning it. So I'm just showing you what works for me, but if you need to take it down a notch, you'll take it down a notch. If you want to take it up a notch, take it up a notch. There's so many people in the world. So I like to start the videos off to camera. And because I have this word, this, and this as a loop, I'm going to record all of this to camera. So what I do is I write to camera. So when I'm filming, I know what I'm saying to camera versus when I'm not. So this is to camera, and that's together with this. And this video, I decided, so up here I'll have, what am I showing? I'm making gnocchi. My idea behind combining cooking and video making is because I always loved scrolling through social media and watching a dish being prepared. And I would see these videos and they were just so simple, and it's just like you see a dish prepared in under 30 seconds and it's for some reason so captivating. Like, we love seeing the process of something being created without having to do the hard thing of actually creating it. And I was like, well, what if I combine my love for that with my love for these topics? What would happen? And then that's how this was born. And so what I would encourage you to do is combine your passions in your video so that you could be showing something interesting while you're saying something. If your videos are primarily the things that you want to teach the world, that you want to share with the world, show them something, even if it's unrelated to what you're talking about, to give people something interesting to look at. Because as much as I wish that I could just talk to camera and captivate people, I personally don't think I have that gift. Other people might. You have to use the cards that were dealt to you. I've had some clients that all they needed to do was look at the camera with their pretty eyes, say the thing, and it just went viral because of that. The cards I was dealt, sometimes I like talking to camera, sometimes I don't. I like to cook. That's one of my cards. I'm gonna play it. Some of you might like to do DIY things. Some of you guys might play an instrument. Some of you might live in a really beautiful place. Some of you might have a collection of something that they could show. Some of you might have a glass of water that you could do something creative with. Find things in your environment that are interesting that you could be doing to use as your B-roll, and you'll end up hooking people in for a lot longer. What I like to do is highlight the things I want to say to camera, and I'll make this in bold so that when I'm reading it, when I'm working, I could easily find it. You could do Command B to make things bold. And I also really, before when I was reading this, really like this question. I want that to be to camera. I'm also going to make this to camera just so that I have it. And so that's kind of how I do this. I don't record the whole thing to camera. I just record certain lines, which is how it looks like I'm speaking to the camera the whole time, but I'm not. This is obviously going to be the shot of Alan on computer. I know that. So how do you sober up emotionally? Maybe here would be a good time to cut back to me. Maybe. I'm going to record it just in case. And at this point, I know that if I'm making gnocchi, this first half is going to be preparation, and somewhere in the second half here, I'm going to eat it. So I have to figure out where that is, because that is the satisfaction. It's like if you, let's say, built something, it's like the end of it, you want to showcase what it is. Ooh, I like this line, so maybe I'll do this line also to camera. And here is when I take a bite of gnocchi. So not only are you getting a delicious line, you're also seeing something delicious happen on screen. And then we're back to camera, just for the line, because I'm thinking right now, my thinking cap is on, because I'm like, what if we can do something cool with the loop, where I took the bite of the gnocchi before this sentence, Like right here, after I said this, what if you love me, you would do this? Do I love myself enough not to demand this from you? Bite the gnocchi. And then what if after that you see me chewing in this line and I'm loving it, I'm having a good time, and then as the camera zooms in, I say the word because. Okay, this might sound absolutely insane to you, but what I'm trying to do here is create this like fluidity, not just in speech, but in what you're seeing. Because the video is starting off with, in order to be emotionally sober, you have to stop being emotionally dependent. If that's just on me and you don't see the gnocchi yet, you don't know what's coming. And I can edit it in a way where like I start zoomed out on this line so you see the gnocchi in front of me. I say the line, I take a bite, and then you hear this as a voiceover. So I have about 6 seconds to take the bite, swallow it. So that essentially is how I storyboard. Now, there's a lot of other ways you can storyboard. If you're new to storyboarding, you could use a table where you write down what you hear, which is your script, versus what you see. And you could just add a bunch of, columns to this. And so if I was doing it using this method, I would put this line here, and then I would say, talking to camera. And then I would put this line here. So you kind of just go line by line, and I would say, preparing gnocchi. And essentially you'll go line by line, placing what you see, what you hear, and then that's how you build out your storyboard. And that's the easiest thing to follow along with. And you know what's cool about doing this? When I actually do things right, I do it like this. And when I'm editing, it saves me so much time because all I need to do is find the sentence, and then I find the right footage and I just pair it together, and it makes the editing process so much easier. So this is what it looks like to kind of come up with some sort of storyboard that isn't too rigid, but just gives you an idea of what you're about to film. And for some of you, you might just like write something out and on the bottom make a little list of shots that you want to get and just go based off of that. So this is what works for me. I highlight in bold the sentences that I say to camera. I'll make little notes for myself for things I definitely want to get. And if I really want to take it a step further, I create a what you hear versus what you see table. And if you want to take it an even step further, like this is so overkill, but you can add another row, another column after. And then this is like visual reference. So it's like if you want to go crazy with it, you can add photos to the reference. And now we're talking like Hollywood level films, kind of. We'll talk more about this in the sessions.